Greetings, Tuesday fans of the world around you. I bring dire and frightening news this early Halloween season. Today's sweet video game title says to you, begs to you, real Yakuza use a gamepad the second you open it. And you wouldn't want to believe what my explicitly satanic alternative lifestyle co-host did. What did you do? What did you do?
I said I literally unplugged my controller when I saw that it had controller support because I did not trust the controller support to work.
That is ridiculous! That is exactly the opposite of why they put that notification in the game. Oh, this woman has fun shapes on her jacket, like the Sony PlayStation.
Yeah, she's the inheritor of the Illuminati.
Okay, kind of like the Sony PlayStation if the most information you have about it is David Lynch's PS2 launch commercial.
He did multiple PS2 launch commercials. He did like a whole series of them.
No. Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Like it was a whole ad campaign.
Did David Lynch do anything else in his career? I only saw the one PS2 commercial.
I don't know. I think he might have just been a PS2 commercials guy.
I think he was like, here's the video game console. In 40 years, I'm gonna show up on your Twitter every Friday looking maniacal, and then I'll die. That's me role-playing as Twitter as David Lynch. Presumably, the guy's still kicking.
No, I was about to say, rest in peace, the guy who made all those cool PS2 commercials.
That's awesome. That's so disrespectful. Yes, like the Joker. Dude, why am I talking about the mother flarking hoker? We you know, every Touhou Tuesday we get together and we're like, what sweet vid is it gonna be? And you know, sometimes it takes a bit where I'm like, Emily, are we going to play literally pornography today? She doesn't let me.
I do want to do that at some point. I just want to like wait a bit, like really wait for the right time to do that one.
Oh, winks with both eyes. I've heard about this particular psycho. It's an actual practice. But dude, take a look at that freaking settings on this one. This is the Joker's trick. I've never seen such a strange setting menu in my previously not as beautiful as this life. Viewport. What does that mean? Screen, landscape, compared to what? World Star Hip Hop mode? FPS, don't worry about it, it's not numerical. And also there's a more interesting setting right next to FPS. There's a woman with a bunny rat on her head, and you can make her get a little sleepy if you click on her blue self.
Oh, I noticed that woman. I didn't realize you could click on her. I thought she was just like an SPS counter thing. I'm not sure how it works, but
when I was a little baby, there was a wonderful little video game series called Epic Battle Fantasy, and if you clicked the girls' boobies in it, they wobbled. And ever since then, I've always been looking for interesting UI elements in game design. FPS high, low. It's only high-low. High-low to you too, buddy. Shock suggestio. It goes up to level 3. I'm turning that to level 3 if it means most of my footage has to be censored Petscop style. That's awesome.
And I will keep it on off so that we can have some usable footage at least, or at the very least, if it is good, we can see what the difference is.
This is Koishi's Enchanted Woods, which has the green woman in it, another Touhou character I'm rather cool with after the sort of magenta character who's quite small. So this is pretty friggin' awesome. World Star Hip Hop mode activated. Yeah, for the current platform, this feature is not available. Okay. Sorry.
And the one thing that I've noticed is clicking that UI layout button.
Oh, what have you done to me? Oh, Did it put everything in a language you can't speak when you pressed that button?
It didn't put everything in Chinese, but it put a lot in Chinese.
I'm an uncultured piglet. That's like most of my bloody appeal. I can't... Well, it really does just throw you into the game. Okay. And now, live, we're gonna figure out one of the sweet, sweet, gorgeous conceits of Koishi's Enchanted Forest, which is available on Steam Next Fest, and still is, because it's not one of the Next Fest titles that turns off availability. What I don't like. This one lets you keep clicking. Oh! It's got invitational modes.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, I don't know who half of my Steam friends are.
I luckily know who every single one of them is, because there's only like 12 of them.
I'm inviting you. Now, would you be user antagonist Chan, or totally not Raymond? Maybe Ariana Bad Bitch, or your father?
Definitely none of those, except for the first one.
Are you sure you're not user I've never even once talked to, Sweet Piss Enjoyer? That doesn't sound like you.
You've never talked? I thought you met them in like Dead by Daylight, as I mentioned.
I probably just killed them and then liked their username and sent a friend request, and then we never interfaced. What the heck? I started a lobby and it inverted the, like, shape of the gameplay. I'm a huge fan of that. Please wait for your friends to respond. Well, that's insulting. That's pluralized. You know that's not true. Oh!
We're both Koishi.
It's you! Toopy Scroopy! Zoomer Emerlay!
I have over 200 ping.
That's awesome! That's why your username must be that. No other reasons. Hey, check this out. What do you make of this grim cannibal holocaust?
That is... Hi.
Are you seeing that?
Yeah.
Looks like a human eyeball. Like what I can not see on myself.
I think it's not a human eyeball. I think it's a different type of eyeball. I think it's a Satori eyeball.
Based on its huge size and detachment from the rest of a human being, you suggest?
And the fact that this game is about a Satori named Koishi.
Look at you. Look at you. You were so overcome with your shame and not telling me anything about that utterly terrifying rat babe last time. The
Literally, I was
actually has logged back in.
I actually meant to say earlier, my fun fact for this week is that Nazrin is one of the few characters who has multiple sprites in just one game. Because there are two games that she's mainly in, Touhou 12 and Touhou 19, and she has two sprites in Touhou 12. Because she's like a stage 1, I think, boss, and also the stage 5 mid-boss. She has a different sprite for when she's a mid-boss than when she's a boss. And I think her mid-boss sprite is the her cutest sprite, which is too bad, because it's also the one that I see the least. People mostly focus on her 12 or 19 sprites.
Skirts are unreal. There's another creepy eyeball over there.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, we got the human magician. We got a woman with a lot of belts she's wearing more incorrectly than I knew you could wear belts.
Koishi-chan, what can your big sis do for you?
Oh, this one said it. Start battle?
Koishi-chan, are you having fun here? Unhappy? You look like you're really enjoying yourself. You're just stating facts, huh?
Wow. Mouse left. Are we... Oh my god.
Why are you doing that?
Dude, let's hang out. Let's...
Beyblade, Beyblade, let it rip!
Ooh, Beyblade.
Let's go to Dave and
Let it
Buster's
rip.
and do this. I want to go to Dave and Buster's and do this.
I do like, I have not been to Dave & Buster's in nearly long enough. The last time I went to a Dave & Buster's, I think the only time I've ever been to a Dave & Buster's was when I went on a trip there for my high school graduation. Like, it was like the very last field trip of high school was they took us all to Dave & Buster's.
Can I tell you the only thing I know about Dave & Buster's? All I know Dave & Buster's for is the dragon invasion.
It's an arcade.
I thought it was a library. Would you like to skip the tutorial and continue? Yes. Difficulty. Uno. That's a little bit of multiculturalism in your sweet Touhou Tuesday. It's a word from another language. This is the girl with the shapes.
Yeah.
Shapes
She's
in
basically,
her shirt.
you
And
know,
by that I
Rena
mean the PlayStation buttons.
Kokoro's Faith. Ooh. It's like this is the roguelike stuff coming up.
This is numbers.
Yeah.
I don't want to read numbers. This card pool is currently rough and may change a lot later. You know what? I believe you. Click, click, click. Purchase failed. Insufficient faith. You should say that to Emily.
I came to play with you. Let's do something fun together. This isn't a game, it's a battle. Battles are fun too. Right, I'll give you something even more fun. Yeah, Hatsuno Kokoro's thing is that she's Rina Tennoji from Love Live.
Oh my god.
She has 100% facial paralysis, so she just... all of her expressions are done with masks that she wears. Well, masks that she kind of is also. They're like part of her.
Can I ask a sweet question to that mighty girl mind what of yours?
Yeah.
When you hit left click, does your computer screen go to 100 hells, or is that a J-Dog original?
That appears to be a J-Dog original, but I do appear to be a ghost. I can't do anything anymore.
You must have kept... That's scary. I hope that's not what being a ghost is like. You
like,
would not
I'm
believe the
semi-transparent,
sheer...
and I can only walk around. I can't do anything but walk.
That's tough. I like to believe I'm a pretty fully transparent person. Honest, approachable, wholesome. 100. Nice, good level. Jump to Kokoro. Talk to Kokoro. Oh god, interacting with women's so complicated. Jump. Enthusiasm's admirable. Want to score higher and get luckier? Use faith to power me up fast! God's strongest disciple, Jeannevac. Used faith to power up my based historical schizophrenia. Look at this, I'm gonna bring you back to life.
Oh, hell yeah.
I know, it's your turn.
Oh, I just realized I'm blue and you're red.
You know, I've always preferred the red team.
In red versus blue, I prefer the red team. I appear to have died again, very fast.
One of the strategies I've employed is when chance to get hit, try not. And I've failed myself. And now I don't look like a Swagmaster YOLO. I look like a cringe slop. Wow, it took us all the way back here. It's a hard world out there.
It's so funny that, like, my favorite character in Red vs. Blue by far is Epsilon. Like, Epsilon's literally one of my favorite characters of all time, but I'm still ultimately a red team bitch.
Do you have to be the bitch? Can't it be like in a team about like equality?
I'm not the red team's bitch. I am a red team bitch.
You're a bitch. I wouldn't call you a bitch. I don't want to call you that.
No, I'm reclaiming it.
Oh, I mean that's up to you. I'm a red team chef. If I had to say anything, I'm a big fan of cooking. I tells you.
So you're a Griff fan, then?
I permit it, whatever it means. Very recently, I had some vegan patties and some brioche buns. That was quite spectacular. Good ingredient doing in the household. What can your big sis do for you? I'm telling you, this is maybe the most Catholic game we've yet played on Touhou Tuesday.
I mean, they are literally sisters.
Dang it! I was thinking she was wearing maybe the most wrong clothes besides no clothes for a nun. Nice, here are the 3 kinds of controllers. No, 4 actually. Keyboard, gamepad, mouse, white woman. Hello. A few notes about controls. Touchscreen. You're kidding me when you say that, surely. If touchscreen supported or simulated, use the attack icon on the interface.
Ah.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like this lady. She used a tilde to punctuate her sentence. That means she's likable. Tilde. How strange do you find it that there's an alphanumeric character that's just like the whore character? I mean, I suppose one of them had to be. What do you make of that? I'm reclaiming whore,
I
by the way.
I like the whore. I like using the whore character because I like being that kind of person. I also have a lot of thoughts about like the things that are like. It's so funny that like pipes are like a standard keyboard character, but a lot of people don't really realize that pipes are a standard keyboard character. I didn't realize until I was an adult that pipes were like standard.
What the heck is a pipe?
You know the thing that's the you know when you press when you shift and backslash, and, like you get that straight line. That's a pipe. I believe my Steam username has a pipe in it. It doesn't anymore, that's right. But remember back when my Steam username was Antagonist Chan Trans Rights? There was a pipe between Antagonist Chan and Trans Rights.
Back when you believed in trans rights, yeah.
I still believe it's not my username anymore. It was too long.
You gotta come to the next area. There's some scary stuff going on over here.
I was wondering how you got over there. It's the next area. There's a dead body!
Someone freaking carked it. Someone went toad mode, which is to say, died.
We're on a cop show now. Oh no.
The density of enemies will affect the priority of the attack direction. Yes, ma'am. I mean, sis. Double attack the attack button. Have sufficient spiritual energy plus be moving. Oh my god, 1984. Only because I'm supposed to read. That was a book. Maybe you've seen it on the internet.
Literally, my girlfriend, or my girlfriend's wife, apparently at some point didn't know what 1984 was, which shocked the hell out of me because, like, just a month earlier, that's a girlfriend and I were talking a lot about 1984 for like a month straight.
I love that. I love that. I love being generally surprised by things. I mean, I suppose I already am. I was gonna say, I want that lifestyle. Should you choose the powerful me or the weak me as my opponent? It sounds like you're having a great internal battle. There's an honorability to that.
So-called Kokoro's Faith store is my own store. Your purchase will strengthen either me or my masks. You can also beg me for mercy to lower the difficulty.
Women love that. Okay, now we can learn about battling Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh's world. I don't know. You don't make jokes run through my head and I'm like, that sucks. I'm not even gonna say that. I was just gonna go, what if they played Yu-Gi-Oh! On Sesame Street? That's garbage. That is the worst joke I would ever have made in my life. If I seriously said, what if they put Yu-Gi-Oh! In Sesame Street, that would be the real last episode of Touhou Tuesday. That's just, like, horrible. That is a pointless, foolish... Victory! I feel better now.
I summon Pot of Greed. It lets me draw 3 cards from my deck. That's not what it does. Yes, it is.
You can get through most things with confidence.
Paid for by so-and-so, official Canberra authority. I was talking to Marisa and Koishi just asks, do any of these things belong to you? And Marisa just responded, shut up.
What a woman. Alright, I know how to play now. Jeez, I said I know how to play and I went to the normal levels and it gave me this big red text that says you failed this level. Okay. Okay, big sea star.
There is so much about this experience that is so different between us, like, because you're the host and I'm the client. I can't wait to see your footage.
It's really good. I gotta tell you, Emily's there the whole time, so that's just a great sign. Morty, you have to be grateful every day. Every day can be the last, Morty. Ping, 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 ping. What's up with the pumpkins? I joked that this was the early Halloween episode because of your anti-societal and kooky behavior, but there's actually nasty little bumpkin wumpkins.
Yeah, I know what the masks are about. I don't know what pumpkins are about.
I know what it's about. I looked. Look at her poofy, silly skirt.
Ah,
orange
right,
and
yeah.
large.
It's her skirt that you can see her legs through.
I can't.
Yes,
I
like,
can't see
look.
anything.
Like, I would just, like, talk to her. You'll see it on its right.
My god! I'm sorry. I was looking at her face when I was talking to her. My first failing? Who can really say?
That's the trick. I look at face first, but I also look at everything else.
I just look at face the whole time.
I like to absorb my environment and make out every detail.
You like to absorb women like Cell from Dragon Ball Z. To be honest, you mostly absorb men.
Yeah. From what little I know of who he absorbed.
Well, it was mostly men. It says here I'm 100 gold %. How about you, liberal? It says you're
same.
2p in white text. I have drawn myself as the gold 100 and you as the white 2p. Did you know this game is rendering at 144 frames per silly second?
Like, that is kind of the max typical frames that, like, most TVs are capable of.
I can't even see that many frames.
Like, I think my TV my TV maxes out at 60, but, like, there are, like, fucking displays that max out at 144. A lot of streamers use 144
if you had a
hertz.
TV that was good for 60 straight years, that was a very good investment. It's a little
I'm pretty sure.
joke.
I think my TV is a plasma, so it is pretty old.
Jeez, they just keep adding more, don't they? Plasma, Sigma, Alpha, Beta. Guy that drinks tea.
Like, the reason I think it's a plasma is because it has no burn-in issues whatsoever. Like, I can leave something on it for, like, 5 days straight, and there's no burn-in whatsoever.
I mean, as long as it's an image in the TV and not, like, fire. You know? If you left the TV on fire for 5 days, I bet that'd suck for it.
Oh! We're fighting!
Trouble in paradise.
I'm gonna body block her.
Smooth criminal. You can't get me. I get away from you. Oh, she's a frustrator. Dude, can I say she's weak as hell and that I've played 900 hours of Dead by Daylight and this is nothing to me?
I probably wouldn't have even died to her if I hadn't thought she was an ally for a second.
Her username, transwrongs. That's terrible.
No, it just means that she supports trans people's rights to do evil things. I support trans rights, I also support trans wrongs.
I suppose I support the ability to commit wrongs as long as you go to confessional afterwards. I can't do it. Is this the hard version? You would not believe how viscerally bad. It's fascinating. Every single time I shoot, it's like the world splits apart.
Wow.
Every single time I shoot in this video game, a divorce happens somewhere. Clicks faster.
It's like that one art piece that, like, it puts on a light every time it detects somebody on Twitter saying that they broke up with their partner.
Is that real?
But yeah, that was the thing that happened. It was like an art piece in, like, 2019 or something. Like it would like just scan everything on Twitter, and every time they saw a new post that said I broke up with my partner, it would shine a light.
That's beautiful. I don't know. I mean, I suppose that's like the degrees of interpretation of art, right? It's literally an automatic light turning on somewhere because you dared speak. But I'm like, oh, they turned on a light for them amongst their darkness. That's sweet light.
Yeah.
It's like that famous art piece, Urinal.
Yes, the fountain. The fountain frustrates me because it's how old it is, because here's the thing, is that the joke has kind of been lost with age.
The joke is art itself. Oh!
It's like the whole point of that thing is, oh, it's just a normal urinal, but urinals don't look like that anymore, so I'm always just, like, for a second I'm always like, wait, is it supposed to be a fucked up urinal? No, it's a normal urinal, it's just that's what urinals looked like back then.
You wish it was a fucked up urinal. That's your Jokerism coming out. To the next level, whatever it is. Hey, welcome back to the planet.
Yeah.
I'm really scared of the day that a developer watches our video. I don't know. Like I said before, I generally at YouTube, we try not to tell people like, we played your video game on our YouTube. Now your game matters. It's never what I want to put out there. Though I appreciate the chance to promote cool things, obviously. But I'm so scared of the day that someone watches our sweet Touhou Tuesday, because I feel like we always get into so much trouble. You know, like if I was a developer and I found out that every time this sweet little Australian lad with his questionable insertions of religion into the like Touhou video was like every time he shoots the game explodes and looks like a nightmare for a second. Oh, I'd freak out.
Oh, I realize what the problem is. I'm not starting at full health.
Watch out for that.
So I gotta be extra careful.
I don't know the last time in my life I started at full health, I'll tell you that. I got a terrible acid reflux problem. Anytime I lay down, it's like, by the way, did you know it's all brimstone and sulfur in there? Yeah, no, the original sin, yeah.
I mean, I've got my fucking chronic pain issues, my fucking fucked up skeleton that attacks me. Oh, it's literally called the pumpkin skirt, the anime.
I know that's literally your physiology, but I watched Spy Kids 2 earlier because that's where my life is at right now, right? And there were a bunch of like, it's okay, you can. It's free. No one can stop you. Get your VHS out, you know. Big fan of Robert Rodriguez. Oh, we're beefing! We're
I am also a very big fan of Robert Rodriguez. Like, Robert Rodriguez is like one of my like role models in terms of like making art.
Dude, that's awesome. That's really cool. Yeah, I'm like glad to hear that and sort of like warmed in the heart.
Ah, there was. I was not looking at me. I was trying to help you, so I ended up looking completely away. Oh, I didn't realize Kokoro was out too.
I was so overcome with grief about the enormity of your death that I lost everything, including my life. I want to touch
like
that
fucking
eyeball.
Rocky 4 when fucking Rocky like hesitates to throw in the towel.
It's like Rocky 3D Game Over when he needs to like reconcile with Junie's grandpa. A little bit of a Spy Kids free reference for all
that is
the
Sylvester
Rodriguezites. It is. It's 4 different Sylvester Stallones.
Yeah, apparently the reason Sylvester Stallone was cast...
like even people that still exist.
Yeah, apparently the reason that Sylvester Stallone was cast for that role was because apparently, like, Robert Rodriguez and fucking Sylvester Stallone, like, met at, like, a comedy club or something, and he's like, oh my god, Sylvester Stallone is actually really funny, he just doesn't get to show that in his movies a lot, I'm gonna, like, make him, like, make an entire character just so Sylvester Stallone can show off his, like, comedy chops.
I gotta tell you, and listen, Love in my heart. He is not funny in Spy Kids 3D.
Yeah, no. This is probably the least funny part of that movie.
Oh, it's really unfortunate.
I like the fact that he had the chance to do this, but he didn't succeed.
There's no additional difficulties, it's just normal. Can I say that it's really scary to me that it starts at difficulty 1 and there's like 9 settings below it? How hard could it possibly get? I'm about to make an off-color Touhou Tuesday joke. Feel free to censor it, but I don't think it's that bad. I tried to start the new level, and it said tips, and I went no. And then it refused to let me start the level. And it was like my first boyfriend in high school.
There, I've started the level. I'm surprised it let me, because before it was like, there was so many things that it straight up was saying, oh, you're not allowed to do this because you're the client. Jesus.
Now I see you've invoked the martyr. What's up?
I'm already down to 20 health.
Oh yeah, that's fair. Yeah, he'd be like, whoa, whoa Nelly, that's no good, sister. That's what he'd say. Jesus Christ. What? My girlfriend keeps making me do Elvis lately. Every day I wake up and she's like, I've figured out a new song you can do as Elvis. I can do any song as Elvis, by the way. What? All of these cards are, like, scary. Every single card I have available to, like, buy right now is like, do you want to make the enemies stronger? No.
I think we have the same, like, it's the same thing, because, like, every time I go into the store when you're also in the store, I'm seeing things get actively bought.
Oh, it's like we're playing the game together.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, it made my eyes well up. Whenever I do a voice of too much of a pitch, I start, like, spontaneously crying. I mean, it's good if you're an actor, you know?
Yeah.
Because it's like, ooh, it hits the mute mic button, world's #1 fart enabler, and then just starts doing a stupid little Elmo voice and sobs. I wasn't crying in the last Elmo video. I felt like it wasn't safe to express that vulnerability when Elmo was there. Do you remember that scoundrel Picorino Pecorino, who I probably shouldn't call a scoundrel for the sake of having an engaged community base? Love in my heart. Said that they don't hold it against Elmo. Oh my god,
yes,
this isn't even the first time I've brought this up, is it?
Yeah, you brought this up in the last episode when Elmo came back for a brief second.
Like a scoundrel of some description. I was a scoundrel? Yeah, that makes sense to me. You know, I can do any song as Elvis, and I was surprised you didn't ask me to do any songs as Elvis. I can do the song if I know it. If I don't know it, I can guess what it's like.
To bring up, actually do some education this time, fucking Koishi's thing is that she's a Satori, which is, you know, it's a yokai that can read thoughts. Except here's the thing, Koishi hated that she could read thoughts, because everybody around here was just constantly thinking about how much they fucking hated her because she can read thoughts.
Oh, because she can read thoughts, okay.
Yeah,
not like an
that
issue within her.
Yeah, no, she's like that. The people around her were like, that freak knows what I'm thinking, that's scary, that I don't want to be around her, and she hated that. So she basically sealed away her third eye, which is represented in the game as like her third eye being like sewn shut, like she got a fucking sewing needle to her fucking eyelid.
Jeez.
And that made her... It closed off her ability to read minds, and in return, it also effectively lobotomized her, and also made it so that she is a being of pure unconscious. So like you don't necessarily notice her if she's there, because she's not consciously there, really.
Every single thing you've ever told me about Touhou is like the scariest thing I've ever heard in my life. And then every piece of Touhou fan content is something as like heartwarmingly gorgeous as my favorite Touhou Tuesday thus far, panel date pom. That was a good one.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Piccolino didn't comment on that one. I didn't have anything to say about it.
No. It's up there, but I think my favorite's probably still either Rikuto the Robot or Patchy's Magical Maze.
Jeez, Rikuto was really good.
Yeah.
Jeez, there's a lot of extremely talented people making extremely gorgeous Touhou projects. Oh, did you see the little Morty, the little bit of wordplay I did there? I called them Touhou projects.
Yeah.
Yeah, I meant it. Yeah, Grandpa. I wouldn't like that. I wouldn't like a grandpa that, like, is a Pokemon. You know what I mean? Yeah, Grandpa.
I'm Pickle Rick! Already is a Pokemon.
Oh my god. I'm Pickle Rick! Dude, that Pickle Rick episode is very depressing. I mean, it's good, don't get me wrong, I just, like, didn't expect the Pickle Rick episode to be so full of,
Like, I've heard the thing is that, like, he turns himself into a pickle, like, as a very extremely unhealthy coping mechanism for trauma.
He just doesn't really want to address himself. He's just like, I don't want to be Rick no more. He's kind of like the Better Call Saul of Rick and Morty. A sentence I say only to alienate anyone left still watching. That was a pretty good level.
It's like fucking Gerard Frisk. Like being a cross between Rick Sanchez and Mike Ehrmantrauten. Our friend Gerard Frisk, who nobody in the comments knows who it is because it's not a character who exists outside of our friend group.
I don't even know who Gerard Frisk is.
It's John's fucking the other end character.
Oh!
The Journeyman.
Sweet old man. Okay, yeah. Not the other codenamed tabletop role-playing game characters, whose names get dicier to say, if only for sheer artistic intensity.
Just the one, the baby and the beautiful and immortal machine are not necessarily that intense.
They're so notable.
Yeah. I love talking about this thing nobody in our audience is gonna understand.
Me too, Gregory Barrycon. You still haven't asked me to do a single Elvis song. You can't even, you don't even
Hound
believe
Dog.
I can... No, not a real one. Please.
Wonderwall.
Okay, get this. I've never heard Wonderwall in my life, so we're gonna give it a try.
You haven't?
I have been up to other things, like Bible studies.
You'd probably like
girlfriend
Wonderwall.
kissing.
You probably wouldn't love it, but you'd probably like it.
I feel like you're insulting me. I've heard it's like the song of choice for guys that will not survive the winter.
It is, but that's partially because it's a really good song, but also partially because it's really easy to play and perform on the guitar, and also to sing. It's really easy to sing and really easy to play on guitar.
Help! I'm being oppressed! She's on me! This will not stop me from kissing my
Here's the
girlfriend.
thing is that, Liam Gallagher, or maybe Noel Gallagher, I forget which Gallagher is the singer, the one who sings has a really monotone voice, and it's especially monotone in Wonderwall. Like, Wonderwall's good, but it's very monotone, so it's very easy to sing.
Okay, I'll put that into my what Wonderwall could sound like through Elvis. Oh, this is my favorite wall. I'm Elvis with no energy. I love this wall. I live in a prison. This actually falls. It's a dog shit Elvis impression. It's actually horrible. It's actually quite hard to do Elvis when he's like so depressed he can't even stand up. I mean, that was the end of his career.
Yeah.
You're killing them. Again. No mercy for fairies. Jeez, this is just like the Paimon situation. I almost got your goat about that earlier. When you said you'd love to use the horror key, I was like, wrong. You'd love to use 40 Paimons.
40?
It's like 20 twice.
Yeah, 20 was my max, my absolute max. Again, like, it wasn't I want 20, it's that 20 was the absolute highest I would go.
emboldened by the positive response to your kingdom in the YouTube comments section. I thought maybe...
I mean, I was emboldened, but I mean, that wasn't what I ever wanted. That 20 was my max. 20 was like, that's like the highest I would be capable of.
I thought
I would want like 1 or 2.
Queens of hit. Do you want 1 or 2 and you're willing to have 18 more than your like realistic desire?
Yeah.
It's not like 8 more, it's 18. It's like
again, the consequence was like, how many more would you take until you would start like murdering?
James Gunn's The Suicide Squad has like 7 people in it. You want 13 more Paimons that are in James Gunn's The Suicide Squad.
It's not how much I want, it's how much, that's how many I would be willing to have before I would start being like, maybe I need to start killing them. Like, I'm just not into murder is the thing.
Stop killing! Stop killing!
I don't want to kill. You're the one who said like how many would it be before you start murdering them.
You agreed to murder. It was always on this cruel existential table.
And you're the one who said like what would be the point where you would start being murdery about it? Or, like, I don't know, like fucking 20?
20. You didn't say never. I say, in need of a shovel, look inside your own heart. You know what I mean? You
I mean,
Emily
can't
the
take
killer.
Care of all of them. Like it's like how fucking shelters.
Killing.
Shelters can only take so many dogs at a time.
It's me, Elvis the farmer. I shouldn't have accepted buying 40 horses from my farmer buddies in Milwaukee. I'm gonna have to take my cattle gun. I don't inherit so many horses. You don't stop buying horses.
Exactly, I didn't plan to inherit that many Paimons.
You did. You did.
I didn't.
They're
I just said
outside.
in an emergency that'd be possible. And they aren't outside. I was explicitly summoning them. Like, I was birthing them myself.
Really? Oh my god.
Remember, that was the whole conceit was like, would I be able to summon a magic missile or summon a Paimon?
Your pelvic floor is gonna be made of pastrami after all you've done out here.
What do you mean I'd be magically summoning it? Like in Sims 2, when like your sim as a baby is just like a plumb bob pops out of your plumb bob and then there's a baby. That's what the green thing above a sim's head is called. It's a plumb bob.
Oh, I thought you were referring to a cunt.
No. That's what I'm saying. It's like it's just summoning. It's like the plumb bob coming out of another plumb bob in Sims 2.
Birthing.
I was trying to get away from the birthing metaphor.
You started the birthing metaphor.
Yes, and it was a mistake. I admit. I was backing down.
Creak, crack, crunch. Touhou Tuesday is a video series every week where we enjoy interesting bullet shooters with your friends. You can play them like Koishi's Enchanted Forest.
Main Rekis like Kato no Kokoro, which is a masked Tsukumogami type yokai.
A skirt you can see through a little bit. I mean, if it's on purpose, that's just a fashion statement.
Yeah, it is very much. I mean, they're like it's not like rags. It's like, oh yeah, there's a specific shape. It's like a jack-o'-lantern pattern.
It's like the fountain. You're not gonna love it for it to be legitimate. You need something to somebody. That's always been my thought about the fountain and what it says about the modern basis of art, you know?
Yeah.
And
the whole point of the fountain is anything can be art if you want it to be art.
Maybe they had that one very good scholar, I'm very sorry I can't recall their name. They say the ultimate like thesis statement of the fountain is that art is something you piss on. Whoa. Touhou Tuesday, it's a series where every week we get together and sometimes there's all sorts of stuff about needing to blow up your 20 Paimon GFs, and sometimes we talk about the basis of art and the difficulty of its communication.
And sometimes we say pissing on art to illustrate that point.
I would never pee on art. This was bad. So I guess I would.
What if art got stung by a jellyfish?
I thought stung by jellyfish, and unless she hydrated onto its wound, it was gonna hurt for like a couple of minutes.
Yeah, and what if you needed to... I was about to quote a really NSFW Tumblr post making fun of that myth, and then I realized I probably shouldn't.
Crack crunch, it's Touhou Tuesday. Every week we get closer to the one where it's the boobies game and most of the screen is black bars the whole time. We're always taking fan suggestions that we reserve the right to say no to, but we'll probably say yes to. Oh, nice. I can't keep spinning. Everyone's mad at me.
I'm singing a Touhou song, by the way.
I liked it. I don't know, the sort of Kuru tone combined with the...
I think it's one that when we do the Iosis episode that I've had in my back pocket for ages, we're probably gonna... I think it's Iosis.
I liked how it combined with the sort of mystical, worldly tone of Koishi's Enchanted Forest, a shooter game you can play with your friends when it comes out, and they fix the bugs in it.
Yeah, and hopefully they make the balance maybe a little easier to follow. Because like, this is a good game, it's just a little hard to read. Which makes sense, it's a demo.
Video games. Something I've really enjoyed about this one is the fact that the whole match long we haven't even talked about the fact that there's penises in the base. I don't know if you're getting this particular graphical error, but I've got sort of like a tiling issue. Things get separated by little white lines, and I gotta tell you,
I have not been having any graphical issues. I've been hearing about yours, but I have not having any of them.
Well, guess what? I also have Bocce the Rock on my computer screen the whole time. Everything came up J-Dog. Wow, so good to get a chance to put our hands on the controllers together. Touhou Tuesday.
Yeah.
You died way more than me, everyone saw. Ow! Well, it looks like I got my just desserts. Swing, 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 swing. Do you want to do spins in front of the statue dicks?
Yeah, sure. I think this is where we should end with us spinning together.
I've always thought so.
I actively unplugged my controller when I saw that it said it was compatible with controllers, so I'm like, I'm not sure I want to try this with the controller.
I'm gonna make you freaking say that, and then I'm gonna call you the Joker.